You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Selling Sunshine, the Florida Trains. Locomotive 2017, a video companion to our best-selling annual issue. Big Steam is back. All of these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com. Good morning, Trains Nation. Today is Friday, January 19th, 2018. We're glad that you could be with us for another episode of Trains Newswire Roundup. I am Steve Sweeney.
Hi, and I'm Jim Wrinn, just back from assignment on Florida to witness the Brightline train debut and film a really cool shop tour down there, which you'll see in coming weeks.
Who gave you that assignment?
I did.
Well, it was 10 degrees below zero up in the frozen tundra of the north.
I know. I looked at the weather report every day, and I felt for you guys. But anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Hotspots, our brand new special issue right here.
We have got page after page.
And also by our Hotspots videos. There are 6 of them. Right now we're just displaying 2 of them. But anyway, they're the old on-location videos. We've digitized those. But then we've gone a little step further. We've added to them about 10 to 15 minutes, actually in some cases 20 minutes of brand new footage to bring the story up to date. The original series ran about 25 years ago. It was really popular, and like I said, we just thought it would be great to bring them around again because now that is historical footage.
It is historical footage.
It's changed, and now you can see the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say.
And now you know the rest of the story. Correct. And included in that rest of the story, I believe a couple of these videos also have Trains drone footage.
The very first.
The very first. So if you want to see that, go ahead at the kalmbachhobbystore.com. But we do, we're here for news and Newswire.
Let's talk about Newswire.
And we've got a bunch of news. So you're in Florida. Let's start off with Brightline. Brightline has been in the news all over the place.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just got started. Immediately, a couple of trespasser fatalities, unfortunately. We're sad to say. Some, let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Ambulance chasing lawyers went ahead and jumped on this. And so they're out there with their YouTube commercials. You can see that on Newswire.
Yes, you can.
And you can react to it as well. But it's an interesting thing. And this morning, Brightline is actually hosting a news conference to talk about rail safety and corridor safety. So
they are.
Be sure and check out Newswire later on today about that. But we did see a gorgeous train, a really congested part of the world.
Yes.
I was driving down I-95, and there were 2 accidents ahead of me on the morning that we went to the Brightline shop. Bob Johnston, our passenger columnist, was with us there. And that is just an incredibly congested area, and a lot of people, and passenger train service really works in that place to stay off the tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have Tri-Rail already, which is sort of like the commuter service, like the all-stop commuter service.
This would be the express service.
Yes. So really interesting thing, new equipment from Siemens, which you saw.
Brand new, gorgeous
that?
train sets, Charger locomotives, brand new cars, look like something out of Europe. Really nice service.
Yeah. And we're going to be having a feature on this, I believe, in the June issue?
In the June issue.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Big
lots
stuff
on Newswire this week about that too.
Let's transition to a little bit of happy news. GE Transportation came out this week and said they got a $900 million order for new locomotives, switcher locomotives, they call them shunters, for Kazakhstan.
Right. And that also includes a service agreement for passenger evolution units too.
Which is really nice.
Over an 18-year period. So good on GE for doing that. We know we've talked about them wanting to exit the locomotive business, but there's still a lot of life there.
Absolutely.
A lot of money to be made.
Something good out of something bad. Last week, heavy rains dropped on parts of Southern California, especially in hard-hit, fire-ravaged areas. There was no vegetation to hold the soil in place, so when the rain hit, up to 4 or 5 inches in some places, it turned into mud, and mudslides came down and covered highways. US 101. It even covered tracks in certain locations, but those tracks are in service, and it looks like the Pacific Surfliner is getting a major expansion in service. It's the only connection between Santa Barbara south to Los Angeles.
Wow.
And there are a lot of people commuting on that route. Bob Johnston has a story. This is the passenger week, I guess. Bob Johnston has a story on that in Newswire. It's a great story, and we're going to be looking ahead to the next issue of Trains to see what the ridership was, what the impacts are for service, because in a lot of cases, this is the first time time that certain Southern Californians have actually ridden a train.
Oh boy.
Ridden an Amtrak train.
And good on Amtrak for changing fast to
Absolutely.
make that extra service possible.
That's the kind of nimbleness that they need
That's great.
throughout the system.
That's great. Meanwhile, out there on the Pacific Coast, Amtrak did say they were going to end the Pacific Parlor Car on the Coast Starlight, which has been a popular feature of that train. It was a sort of a first-class lounge, if you will, and that's where the first-class passengers had their dinner. They didn't, they weren't in the dining car, but really nice service. That was the old Santa Fe high-level cars. Some of the last pre-Amtrak equipment that's still out there running. There are a couple of Bud diners and a couple of Bud
things here and there.
Around.
But that's really cool. It's really cool that they've lasted this long, and I would be
they've lasted this long. I hope
sad to see them go.
Come up with some sort of alternative on that. But that was a nice feature. Really nice feature.
Absolutely.
Sorry to see that happen. Also, the folks debating the Lac-Megantic trial.
Yes, the jurors. The jurors
are deadlocked, and they cannot come up with a decision. So the judge has sent them back and asked them to try one more time.
Yeah, so if you're just sort of tuning into the Lac-Megantic trial, 3 railroaders were charged with 47 counts of negligent homicide, or the equivalent of negligent homicide in Canada, and jurors have been asked whether these 3 men are guilty of those deaths from the July 2013 crash of an oil train in Quebec. And there's been a lot of debate whether these railroaders should have been held accountable. There were a lot of missteps that led up to the train crashing into the town and all these deaths. So we're watching that, and as soon as we see something, we'll post it up on Newswire. But be sure to comment on this video and also on our Facebook page, where we're also posting stories. There's been a lot of feedback so far.
A lot of feedback there.
From the sublime to the outrageous, there is no turning back. Did you see this story?
No turning back, yes.
CSX Transportation, we had to bring up CSX.
We've gone a record, though, amount of time without bringing it up.
I know, but this one is just too good.
I took it out of my notes this time, just for...
all right, sorry, but I'll bring it up. Supposedly on his first day in office, first day in service, the new CEO of CSX Transportation ordered that the hump in Tilford Yard in Atlanta be bulldozed. And he said, well, there's no turning back. We're doing precision scheduled railroading, and we're not doing hump yard movements anymore. End of story.
Brings back old memories of hump yard engines at Tilford from my youth, my misspent youth. But anyway,
a full story on that on Newswire, and
and a lot of details in that story.
It was fantastic.
Lots of info in that story.
Thanks to Bill Stevens for rounding all that up for us.
Once again, lots of details in there about what CSX is doing.
So, and then one other thing that I wanted to mention, in addition to hotspots, we have another video that we're announcing for 2019.
Right.
It is our collaboration with producer Rich Luckin, who's produced a lot of great videos for us on the Transcontinental Railroad.
Yep. A lot of emphasis on that in 2019. It's the 150th anniversary of the first Transcontinental Railroad, of course, completed at Promontory Summit, Utah. And so our video is going to be called Journey to Promontory, and will be made for retail sale. You can buy it in our store later on this year, and you'll also be seeing it on PBS. We want to get it out later this year because obviously we want to show it well into 2019.
Yeah, it's
great story. Going to be a lot of new details, a lot of new facts, and everybody knows the basic kernel of the story, but we hope this will shed some new light on it as well.
Right, and my impression is this will be, there's the Ken Burns documentary, and then there's the Snoopy and Peanuts characters documentary. This will be, fulfilling a need that you don't have to stay up for 6 hours and watch it. You can get a full, satisfying video, but more than Peanuts can offer.
Exactly, much more. So much more.
Jim, that's all I got today.
That's all I got today too. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Check out Newswire early and often.
Stay safe, guys.